You know, Johnny and I went to event together, and we were supporting a charity. Johnathan was supporting a charity, and I was next to him, and I wanted to support the charity too on his behalf. So in a way, we just I always thought that I probably would give it to Lucas, to my son. I think it would be really fun for him to have to be like a little dragon. Vampire boy, or you know, something in the scene in the movie, and maybe introduce him to that world that way. Anyway, it was. I can't believe you found out. It's quite shocking, but no, it was really for us. I wanted to support the charity that Johnathan supported.
I'm going to continue with that, if I can, for a moment. It was actually very, very special for Natalia to turn up to this charity. This charity is created by Forrest Whitaker and James McAvoy. After Forrest Whitaker played Idi Amin, he realized that there was a lot of children in Uganda that were being taken out of their homes and they were being created into soldiers. His charity helps these kids cure their trauma and brings them back into the world. These beautiful, beautiful young children who were poisoned by war and destruction. And I think Natalia coming over to London, especially for this, and presenting herself in such an amazing way, and presenting such an amazing gift, was very, very important to Forrest Whitaker, very, very important to James McAvoy, more importantly, to these young men and these young girls in Uganda who will now have a chance at a life.
Well, I can talk about it because, you know, it's information you probably will be able to find out. It's actually someone was bidding against me, and in order to make this lot a really big success, I said, you know, why don't we put the same money into the pot, make it double the money for the charity, and you know, we do it together. So. So in a way, we raised more money for the charity. That's the main thing. 30,000, yes, we raised 30,000 pounds.
Если Наталья позволит, я бы хотел добавить, на самом деле, что не знаю, потому что с Дракулой, но один из следующих проектов, в котором Водянова будет участвовать, это фильм, который режиссирует Джон Туртуро, один из любимейших актеров братьев Коэн, и вы его должны помнить по фильму, где он играл роль Хесуса. Фильм называется... Как же он называется? Большой Лебовский, точно. И с Натальей одну из ролей сыграет в этом фильме сам Вуди Аллен. Это вот так что.
Максим Марков, Ридус. У меня вопрос к Джонатану. Ваш фильм не только про любовь, но еще и про политику. Как-никак вы играете дипломата, и ваш герой очень сильно сомневается относительно будущего мира и в какой-то мере собственной судьбы. Не могли бы вы прокомментировать вот, эту политическую составляющую картины, в частности, вот ту необыкновенную сцену, когда ваш герой смотрит и наслаждается речью Гитлера. Вот что это было, и заодно уж ваши сегодняшние политические пристрастия. Спасибо.
Okay, first of all, well, Salal the Salal, working in the League of Nations, he has an intuition about what's going to happen. He is somebody who he is a Jewish man who actually has a physicality of a Gentile. So he manages to pass himself off in Europe at that time as a Gentile and allow himself to work in the League of Nations. When he sees this speech that Hitler's giving, he is repulsed. And it's not enjoyment, it's repulsion. His blood starts to boil because he knows what's going to happen to his people. Hitler was a very, very, very cruel and very traumatically disturbed man who destroyed a lot of people's lives. And Solal the Solal realizes this element in what's happening in the League of Nations and realizes the futility of politics at that time. The human condition wanted to go to war. Germany wanted to go to war and Hitler wanted to control everything. And somebody had to stop him. The pain that Solal feels is that his futility to do anything about it.
Следующий вопрос.
Здравствуйте, телеканал СТБ, Украина. Вопрос к Наталье. Наталья, скажите, пожалуйста, вот ваша героиня, как и герой Джонатана, они живут не в браке, они сожительствуют. Как вы относитесь к таким понятиям, как брак, семья? И учитывая, что ваши персонажи люди состоятельные, насколько вообще актуален брачный контракт? Вот ваше отношение к этим явлениям? Спасибо.
Well, I guess at that time it was quite shocking. It must have been quite shocking for them to be living in an unwed relationship. And this is part of, I guess, their drama. They are part of their love, part of their history. And also part of their tragedy. How do I feel about that myself today? I think that as long as two people love each other very much, then papers matter much, much less. However, there is something that is wonderful about traditions, and I'm open to them. I always have been, but it's not my priority.
У нас последний вопрос. Пожалуйста.
Здравствуйте, вопрос актерам. Скажите, пожалуйста, как вы работали с режиссером, который вообще история взаимоотношений с режиссером на площадке, и, в общем, что это был для него за проект? Очевидно, очень важный, серьезный.
Question, please. First of all, I have quite a lot of information about Glenio. I sat and spoke to Glenio for many hours and spent a lot of time with him. This film, first and foremost, is his film. It belongs to Glenio, it was created by Glenio, and Glenio fought for it and gave his life for it. Glenio was a very, very intellectual man. He was born in Porto Alegre, in Brazil, Rio de Janeiro, in 1956. He studied mechanical engineering in Tokyo University. He worked in a bank and then was in the diplomatic service in Vienna, where he came upon the novel by Aldacon, Belle de Seigneur. He became very, very close to Bellacone, and through a very, very arduous and long process of writing with Vincenzo Cei, and who wrote La Vita Bella. And so together they worked very, very hard in many, many different languages. Glenio spoke about 6 or 7 languages. He was a very, very smart man. So he tried it in very many different languages and found out that in English he could bring the story across more potently to the world than in any other language, because of course, to movies across the world, because America is the biggest market and they're an English-speaking country, then it's very important to get your movie into an English-speaking language. But Glenio himself, Glenio in a way had the element of Solal the Solal. he knew what it was like to be in the League of Nations. He knew what it was like to feel the futility of politics. Sometimes you want to really, really help people in the world, and sometimes you can't. But this movie must be seen as his movie, and it's in his memory that we are here to promote this film. It's beautiful to come to Russia. It's beautiful to spend time with Natalia and Thierry and all the people who have been so generous to me here. But more importantly, I'm here because Glenio Bonda lives in my heart. And I was there the morning of his funeral in Paris. And I sat on the ground and I cried as his body was taken away. This beautiful, beautiful, intellectual, great artist who gave everything. Some people give a little, but he gave all. And that's what's most important.